And how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Oopscast with the co-host Kishan and
Grant Corrine.
guys. Today we got a special guest here. We got my boy here, Jesus Guido. Give it up for Jesus right here, guys. Let's go.
Thank you for having me, man.
Of
Honored,
course.
big fan. It's talk to basketball with you guys all the time, so nice to
Yes,
finally be
sir.
on, man.
Appreciate you,
Yes,
brother.
sir. Yes, sir. He's got some valid ass takes. Now, today we're about to discuss one of the hottest situations that are in the NBA right now. We're talking about the Blazer himself, Damian Lillard. Man, Damian Lillard, all-star point guard. He's been in MVP conversations. Led that team once to the conference finals. He's been literally the second best point guard, even like a top 5 point guard in top 10 player in the league for like the last decade, man.
Oh, yeah. He's
And
established himself as just one of the most prominent players to ever be on the court. That's all I have to say. And
yeah, I was just gonna bring up, like, Dame has been that guy for a while now. And keep in mind, he was playing with that injury in his abdomen for the longest.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like,
I remember
I
that.
think he got surgery last year. So just imagine what he's gonna be like, fully capable.
Yeah, I believe he just needs to be on the right team. And I'm really glad that he's finally stood up and said, yo, Blazers, please trade me away. Like, I can't take this anymore.
Because don't get me wrong, I love players being loyal to their franchise, especially in this day and age where loyalty is like starting to thin out, amongst like organizations, amongst players. Don't get me wrong. Again, like I said, I love that he's loyal, but at the same time, he needs to start like knowing what's best for him. And in this case, being loyal to his franchise is not doing him anything. He needs out of his franchise. It's not like a situation where Giannis, like for instance, was like loyal for Milwaukee and it's like 5 years and they're like he should be out. No, this guy's been there for a little over a decade now. They haven't been past the conference finals, and even when they made it there, they got swept.
Yeah.
And his best teammate was LaMarcus Aldridge, who left him in like a few years,
He's like, hell no, I can't take this no
Hell
more.
no. Oh, man. Yeah,
also, I just want to add one more thing. With him being there for a little while after the both sides, both parties, Lillard's party and Blazers started to realize that with him being there, not having any success whatsoever, I feel like his presence was just dragging Blazers down and down. Since again, although he's a top 5, top 10 player in the league, he's just not. It's not really helping them go to the championship or even win it overall. It's just I feel like he's just dragging it down. Not to throw any shade against him, but I feel like this is the best to trade him away for both parties to have fresh new starts. Just to see where their journey takes them from there.
Exactly. Yeah, no, right now is a good time for the Blazers to rebuild, start like, seeing what could be good for them in the future, for their future. Because obviously next year's draft too, that's a big draft coming up, with DJ Wagner, with that Serbian 6'10" Serbian shooting guard, with Bronny James, it's gonna be a huge draft next year. So this is their best chance at like starting fresh again. Now we have a list of teams here, 4 teams, 1 that he shouldn't show up to, 3 he should be traded to, Let's start talking about that. And the first one I'm gonna go over is Miami. Now, this is a team that's being talked about for some time now, that he should be pairing up with Jimmy, and I think that's an excellent fit, Him, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, that's a big 3 you can build off of. And it's perfect because Dame's mindset and Jimmy's mindset are not that far off. They are both born winners, who were put in bad franchises. In Jimmy's case, he finally found his way to Miami where he's gotten inevitable success. In Dame's case, we want the same for him, and I think Miami is going to be a great fit. However, there's one downside, guys. They don't have their assets are starting to thin out just a little bit because they lost out on Gabe Vincent. They lost out on Max Strus. 2 of the guys who I thought would be the perfect assets,
As long as they don't lose on Tyler Hero, that's all.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, hold on, guys, hold on. I just got news right now. I have to do this. Utah's in the race for Damian right now.
Oh, see, I thought Utah would be one of the 3rd teams that helps Miami get Dame.
Yeah, they right now Utah, Philly, and the Clippers, who we're gonna get to in a second.
Damn it! I wish it was the Lakers.
The Lakers might be getting all those assets just to get Dame. Who knows?
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's playing chess. He's playing chess. He's not playing.
Rob Pelinka's playing chess. No, but Utah just joined. They're interested in Dame, and they also have assets too.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll get to Utah now in a bit. Like now that they just joined the chat, But in terms of Miami, I
Enjoy
think.
the chat. That's a good one.
Yeah, no, but in terms of Miami, I think they just made it to the finals as an 8th seed. I think someone like Dame would just propel them to more success. And keep in mind, Miami was like injured for most of the year. Like Jimmy Butler did not play for half the season. Tyler Hero was out for the latter half of the season. Bam Loki had a down year, and they still managed to propel themselves to the finals as an 8th seed. So if they get Dame, I think they could do wonders. Your guys' thoughts?
I mean, I like Dame on Miami a lot. I think that's, like you said, propel the team, definitely puts them in the race as like one of the better teams in the East. Especially because Lowry is definitely aging. He's not getting any better. He's capable of like those clutch plays every once in a while for the foul baits, but I mean he's getting older. He's no Dame. Dame will super be an improvement on that.
I agree with what you have to say. Lowry's age is coming up. He played a little better than he did on his first year in Miami, but I still don't think he should be sticking around for any too long, because obviously if you upgrade Lillard with Lowry, then you got yourself a legit contending team.
I think a real shit. I think Big Booty Lowry is going to be part of that trade. Just saying.
I mean, Lowry. Is he on an expiring, or because that would be?
I think he is on an expiring. Yeah,
that would be.
I think he's got a year or two left, max, on his contract with Miami now. I don't know if they extended him once.
They didn't extend him. No, they no. Even if he has like 2 years left, that's still fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he has a year or two left, because I think when he got traded, I think they gave him like a year or two extension right away from there, just so he stays committed with Miami. But obviously, Miami sees that he's not the real deal. But they have
you definitely have to throw in like Duncan Robinson too in that trade. You have to throw.
That's why I wanted to ask you, what do you guys think is the legit realistic type package that Miami can send to Damian?
Okay, man. Just saying, realistic type packages don't work today. We've been seeing so many bullshit packages go through like that.
The Beal, come on, man.
The Beal package is like the biggest bullshit trade.
I don't want to even get into Phoenix.
Yeah, well, fuck Phoenix right now. I'm sick of Phoenix right now. I'm sick of Phoenix right now.
They're gonna die in that desert anyways. Who gives a shit?
Oh man, but no. In terms of actual trade, I think Lowry has to be thrown in. I think Duncan Robinson. If you want to throw a young talent in there, throw in Nikola Jovic. And then you would throw in like a couple, like a first round with 2 second rounders maybe for Dame.
You maybe re-signed Udonis Haslem and just trade him in so he gets the hell out of Miami.
Oh man.
Asusa, any thoughts? What do you think it would be the realistic package?
Definitely it's got to be, I feel like it's got to be either one of Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson. Tyler Hero is probably going to be coming up on an extension next year, I think. I don't know if they really want to commit to that. I would prefer Dame over Tyler Hero, honestly. I feel like all of us would. Duncan
agree.
Robinson, I think already he's about to start his 5 year, I believe. So I think that he showed up in the playoffs, but I mean, he's a guy that runs on the bench during the regular season. So
he doesn't really, even on the bench too, he really only just shows up for the playoffs. He doesn't show up for the regular season ever.
And I just wanted to go off of what you said, that he does show up in the playoffs only, which if the Blazers do ever make it, if he were to get traded, it would be really helpful. But at the same time, just going off with the realistic trade package, I do think that Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, aka Jimmy Neutron, would both be in that package, along with 2 or 3 first round picks.
Jimmy's mom.
Bro, the Lakers bench would keep calling him Jimmy Neutron, and I can't unsee that anymore after having those picture comparisons.
Okay, man. Then let's transition to the next team. Then the LA Clippers, man. We got like hometown Clippers fan right here, my boy Jesus Guido. Tell us, man.
Raised, man. Grew up Clipper fan. I would love Dame on the Clippers. But at the same time, I don't know if the construction really would work. I mean, obviously you can plug and play Dame into like almost any team, but we just re-signed Russ. They were eyeing Harden, and I feel like we need a solid point, and Russ fits that. And I feel like, backcourt of Dame and Russ would be nice, but I don't know what we would realistically can even trade for Dame. Like our best guys are Norman Powell, and I think Terrence Mann is probably like our better guys that we can actually have as assets. And I mean, realistically, you put that against some of the other trade packages. I don't know if we're too appealing. I don't know how much foot we actually have in the race. Would I want Dame? Yeah, of course. I'd be dumb to not want Dame, you know? But I don't know if we have the capability to actually trade for him unless, he really pulls a deal and's like, no, I want to go there. But we'll see. Because I feel like, Portland's got to try to make Dame happy. He's done so much for them. They're gonna fulfill whatever trade request he essentially wants.
May I chime in?
Of course,
Yeah, of
man.
course.
All right, I do agree with you. I do feel like some teams could be greedy when it comes to trading certain players. But we did mention 5 minutes ago about the Phoenix Suns trade for Bradley Beal, and they gave up like two Dorito Lace and maybe a Kit Kat for Bradley Beal. Now I'm still really shocked that
That was not a Kit Kat. That was a single M&M, bro.
single M&M, the mini ones where you pop it.
It was not. Let me even backtrack. That's not a single. That's a single Skittle. And when I say a Skittle, I'm talking about the grape Skittles that you put on the side that you don't want to eat.
Oh man, it doesn't get any worse than that.
It doesn't get any worse than
It
that.
doesn't get any worse. But no,
Or a
honestly,
grape flavored Jolly Rancher too. Anything grape flavored.
I just wanted to just add something though. I do disagree with you. I do feel like the Clippers are the one team in the league that have so many assets, but yet they do also have the capability to upgrade their roster. Because I know they re-signed Russ Westbrook, and I'm really happy, but they can also use him along with Bones Highland or Norman Powell, even Terrence Mann, along with some picks to
Oh
maybe
man,
Damian or James Harden, and they can upgrade. And I don't know about the Kawhi Leonard situation either, if he's even going to play or not. Maybe you can use him as a separate type of trade asset to get more players or even upgrade.
Oh,
I don't know, man.
that's tough. That's a tough take.
Because think about it, you guys are paying Kawhi Leonard a lot of money, like so much money. They even gave him executive roles within the
Oh yeah,
organization, if I'm not mistaken. They let him
definitely.
come to practice late. They let him have all these other perks,
Mhm.
and he's not really helping the Clippers go any further. And I know we're talking about Damian Lillard, but if you guys want to get Dame, I do feel like trading Kawhi separately, getting prominent assets to utilize that and get Dame could be helpful for you guys in the long run.
So hold on. What I'm hearing is you build around Dame and Paul George. That's what you're saying.
Paul George is a lot more effective for this organization, believe it or not, than Kawhi. Because
Oh
not
yeah,
Man,
I don't have any hate against Kawhi, but
boy, do I
he
have a
hasn't done
good
much.
Kawhi destination in mind already, and it's one of the Dame destinations. Funny enough, I think Milwaukee would be a great Kawhi destination.
Oh yeah. I want to get into that Milwaukee situation. Imagine
But
having him and Giannis both on the same team.
dude, Damon. Oh yeah, because this is Dame we're talking about real quick. Yeah,
Hmm.
Dame and Giannis and they keep in mind they just freshly re-signed Chris Middleton on that extent. They restructured his contract too. And so that could be a legitimate trade piece if you want to, because I feel like that's like it's either that or Drew Holiday. Now I feel like I personally want to keep Drew Holiday on that team next
I would
to
trade Chris
Dame.
Middleton and your
Same,
future
exactly.
picks. And your future picks.
You want to have Chris Middleton there with him just because, or Chris Middleton traded away because you want to have Drew Holiday with Dame because Drew Holiday will eliminate all those like defensive weaknesses that Dame has.
But what about the contract situations? You have to keep that in mind because they give two
oh yeah.
big. Bro, you have Giannis for the max. You got Brook Lopez's brand new big contract. You got Milwaukee. You got Chris Middleton who just signed the max again with Mil, and you got Drew Holiday who has a very huge contract as well. So we obviously have to trade one of those four, and it can't be Giannis or Brook because they're very important. Drew Holiday just because of his defensive abilities. Obviously, he's very important for this organization. That leaves one player, which is Chris Middleton. The boy won his ring along with Giannis. He's been very effective. He has his money. I think he can try a new challenge in Blazers. And on top of that, they can switch his financial situation and replace Dame because they've been kind of embarrassing for the past year and a half because they got eliminated by Miami. And I'm very surprised that even happened.
Oh, same. That messed up my
Yeah.
bracket.
Oh man, I think Miami
Damn
just
it,
fucked up so
Milwaukee.
many people.
No, but just going back to that, I do feel like adding Dame instead of Chris Middleton is not only going to improve from the offensive end, but maybe even on the defensive end too. It's going to obviously leave a lot of scars and potential fears for the other teams to be going every night against Milwaukee, whether it's in Wisconsin or even out of state. Because boy, if I'm a Laker fan and Dame goes to milk it, I'm gonna be really worried. Because I know they only meet 2 times a year, but shit, like that's not
Now,
gonna be good.
I'll say this. Now, these are both scenarios I have. Now, if you do Dame in Milwaukee, that's an automatic championship contender.
Yeah.
You got Dame who both Dame and Giannis, like I said, I think those two players would mesh so well with each
Oh
other,
yeah.
you know. But let's say when we were going back to the Dame and Clippers thing, this is where I was getting at. If you trade Kawhi to Milwaukee, you know, for like Chris Middleton, and you build something like along the lines of Chris Middleton, Paul George, and Damian Lillard,
Ooh.
that's kind of a dream scenario right there for the Clipper fans. Because
I don't know, man. I don't know.
uh,
Chris Middleton was off an injury last season. He would fit the injury and the, for the Clippers.
He would join in
But
the Cedars Sinai
yeah,
roster.
but
the
I don't
Cedar,
know if I
the
don't I
Kaiser
personally would
Permanente
not want.
roster, bro.
Kaiser on Panorama.
Oh no. Okay. That's valid. That's valid. Now there are two other teams that just joined the space race for Damian Lillard. You got A, the Philadelphia 76ers, and B, you got what's it called?
Utah
The
Jazz.
Utah Jazz.
I mean,
Now,
Utah makes sense. He went to college in Utah, so obviously
Weber
he's
State,
kind of a
yeah.
homecoming. Yeah. It
Also,
makes a lot
Utah
of sense.
has they have the assets, They have the young guys. They have I mean, I don't think they would trade some of their young guys, but I don't know if you want to compete right away or if they would want another year of continuing this rebuild that they just recently started.
I realistically think they should just rebuild, and honestly, they shouldn't join the race because if you trade for Dame and put him on Utah, it's essentially the same thing as
Yeah.
keeping him on
It's gonna be worse
Portland.
if anything.
Probably, yeah.
Your
It might
second best
be.
player is gonna be THT.
No, you got Markkinen.
But that's not.
But
That's
I
where I
think
was going.
they're gonna want Markin in
Oh,
there.
you're right. You're right.
They're trying to boot marketing right now. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
But
And
you talked about assets, and I want to mention I think they have something stronger than those assets, and it's their president, their CEO, one of Kishan's favorite people, Danny Ainge. He's a mastermind when it comes to
he is.
trades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll pull something off. He'll probably give away THT and 2 Utah Jazz fans.
Just remember, 2012, man. We gave away. Hold on. 2012, baby. We gave away an aging Kevin Garnett, an aging Paul Pierce, an aging Jason Terry for four first round picks from Brooklyn.
I know to be
Shout out.
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
That became Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. There was two other players in there. Shout out Brooklyn. Hey, and also remember too, the pick that Portland had in 2012 was actually Brooklyn's pick that they traded for Gerald Wallace that turned into Damian Lillard. So,
Yo, now that you actually brought up Jason Tatum, I actually saw, I don't know how much validity there is to his, but I did see Jason Tatum would want Damian Lillard on the team.
Now, real shit, I don't think Boston could pull off Dame. I wouldn't want to give up Jaylen Brown for Dame either, even though I think player next to what's it called, Tatum and KP. But that would also mean realistically we would have to give up Jaylen Brown for that, you know? Yeah. With that said, though, one of the other masterminds that was part of that Brooklyn trade with Danny Ainge was Brad Stevens. And who's our current president? Brad Stevens. So if something were to come up and Brad Stevens could find a way to trade rape another organization like Portland, so be it. If not, I think I'm content with what we have right now, you know?
And I want to just quickly mention another team. I know this team might be sort of irrelevant in this situation, but I was reading ESPN, and there's one team that Damian respects a lot, and Ramona Shelburne wrote about this, and it was the San Antonio Spurs potentially for the Lillard.
I actually like that fit too. I really like that fit, you know?
Having him, Victor Wembanyama, and having Keldon Johnson, that would be really
Are you going to forget about Jeremy Sohan, bro? Come on.
Oh yeah, the gremlin shake hair, dude.
That's my boy Dennis Rodman 2.0, bro.
Oh, guys, by the way, don't drink the gremlin shake.
Grimace shake.
Grimace, bro. I don't know why I said gremlin. I mean, it's like gremlin type thing. I don't know, man.
Bro, real shit. Grant is the Armenian Grimace, bro.
Bro,
oh man.
I've been seeing those. I just want to quickly mention. I've been seeing those videos, and it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Those shake videos where people say happy birthday, they drink it, and they're like dead on the side of the street.
Yeah.
No. But no, back to San Antonio. I like that fit a lot. Him, Victor, Jeremy Sohan, Keldon Johnson, and even Devin Vassell too, you know? And keep him, but at the same time, I think they should just stick to rebuilding. I don't think they should jump into getting I still think they should try getting another number 1 pick or another top 3 pick. Get that 6'10" shooting guard from Serbia or DJ Wagner. And yeah, hold up. They have 3 picks too, keep in mind, you know? They got the Atlanta pick, they got the Toronto pick, and they have their own pick, which are all like supposed to be a lottery to late lottery picks, you know?
Did all those 3 picks come from Atlanta specifically when they traded for DeJounte Murray, or
No, one of them was part of the
Second.
Michael Pirtle trade. One of them was for the DeJounte Murray trade.
So wouldn't they have 2 picks from Atlanta in that case, 2 first-round picks, and then the
Not for
rest?
this year, no, or not for next year though.
Okay, sounds
I
good.
mean, I'm just.
I think San Antonio's still in a great position. Even if they don't go after Dame, let's say, you still got potentially. You have a Hall of Famer player potentially. To not jinx anything, but I really
Oh,
like
for
this
Victor,
team.
yeah, no, 1000%. He's
I
a
really like this. Like, I don't know how San Antonio pulled off their luck by getting him, but that's just amazing. I think he has the perfect scenario. You have obviously Hall of Famers like Tim Duncan and Tony Parker, who's also French,
Ginobili.
or as DL.
Yeah.
And who did you mention?
Ginobili.
Ginobili. And you
We
got
also got David Robinson too.
David
Mhm.
Rob. I don't want to go in because they have so many Hall of Fame players.
It's a class of like it's a class of class. So like I'm not even joking when I
Class
say
of classy players.
exactly. They're all like San Antonio has bred some of the classiest players in the league. You know, maybe Kawhi might be. I don't know what with the Kawhi situation. I don't know where we could like put him in there, but for the rest of the guys that have been part of that organization, they've been some of the classiest dudes to play in the league. Tim Duncan legit shares a whole era with Kobe Bryant, you know, and he was the savior of the San Antonio franchise. Now Victor's in that place too. I don't think Dame should be there to ruin that. Yeah, or I personally think it would ruin that. Like saying.
And one more thing that I think we all forgot to mention was Greg Popovich. How they have a coach like Greg Popovich, how he's gonna just lead that team overall, especially helping Victor grow in general. And but also if they were to add Damian Lillard, you obviously have 2 great role models within the NBA.
That's true. Yeah.
It'll help push San Antonio further within their limits, if that makes any sense.
I mean, look at what CP3 did to OKC. Like,
yeah. Everyone
exactly.
forgets about that. Everyone
That's
forgets
the
about
perfect
that.
example.
He helped Shea grow even more too.
oh, definitely.
Man, Shea is gonna be a huge problem in the future.
Oh yeah, 1000%. Oh, one thing, one team we mentioned that was named for this like trade possibly, and he shouldn't go there is Brooklyn. No, no.
No,
We cannot have Brooklyn go in and get this trade because essentially, if Brooklyn trades for Dame is essentially in the same position he was in Portland.
And the only 2 plays you're gonna likely have is one, Mikal Bridges, who's great, but it's still a Blazers situation. You got Jeremy Grant; they're both similar players, and then you also got Cam Johnson. But that's pretty much it because you don't have that all-star
About
talent.
Nicholas Claxton.
I mean, yeah, Nicholas. I mean, he's a good center. Can't say he's a great. But my point I'm trying to get at is if he does go to Brooklyn, you mentioned it's literally Blazers 2.0 all over again. Essentially, they're not going to win a championship. You're gonna be fighting barely to get into the playoffs just to get swept, like how they did with the Sixers this year.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons on there too. I forgot about Ben Simmons.
Yeah, exactly. And you just mentioned about Ben Simmons, which I want to get into. He's a huge problem. Obviously, he's been a diva for the NBA in the past 2-3 years. Obviously, Dame doesn't want to deal with that bullshit.
You know, Ben Simmons, man, he's not a player and he's definitely not the father. So,
On the roads.
oh man, I think those are all the teams, right?
Yeah, and I think you mentioned about the Sixers as well.
Yeah, I think the Sixers would be a good fit. Him next to Embiid, you know, I think that would be keyed into that whole Harden situation. That I feel like that he'd be like the most likely candidate for Dame if that were to happen. And I don't know how much I like Harden in Portland. I don't like that fit that much per se. You know, I feel like essentially Harden in Portland would just be Dame all over again.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even worth it unless they trade for Harden and they flip him again.
Which they would have to do because I'm sure like with these trades, there's like a certain time clause. So like they have to wait like 60 days, I think, to trade. Yeah.
Potentially till training camp starts, which is in 2 months.
Yeah.
On the other side of the spectrum, though, if you're Portland, what trade package would you want?
Depends what team we're talking about.
Okay, hold up. That's a good question. Now, if Miami's giving me Tyler Hero, I think easily I might want to take Tyler Hero on. But then I would go Utah real shit. And let me tell you why. Hold up. I have Utah wants to get rid of Lauri Markkanen, you know? And I know Portland wants something valuable for Dame. They're not going to just give Dame away for nuts and crackers like Phoenix or Washington did for Phoenix, you know? Or for Beal. I think if I was Portland, I'd go to Utah knocking on their door. Let's talk about Lauri Markkanen for Dame. And if you could, I don't know if they would do this, but if you could somehow throw in either THC or Walker Kessler in that deal, Just saying.
Kessler would be huge.
I doubt Utah will even give up Walker Kessler because he's
They
obviously
won't. They won't. But
valuable. He's a valuable player for that organization at this point. Same thing with Markkanen, although they would only trade Markkanen for his contract situation. But other than that, I do agree with you. I say why not? But there's another team that I had in mind, and you guys might be a little shocked if I say this. It's the Sacramento Kings. I would be calling if I were the Blazers.
Who would you
And
want?
if I were them, you ask for one, you ask for De'Aaron Fox, and two, maybe Malik Monk. Or you get Keegan Murray and he plays alongside with his brother, who just got drafted to the Blazers.
Oh,
that would be Chris Murray and Keegan Murray together, huh?
Yeah, I honestly like can't tell like who's who because they both look super
Hey,
identical.
hold up. What about Dame to Sacramento? I don't know why this just sort of came to me. Like,
Yeah, exactly. You put him and Sabonis together,
that
and that
would
would
be
be
a
a
good
potential upgrade.
because you got an ex-Portland player in this case, and you got a guy who was born in Portland, whose dad was like a cornerstone for Portland basketball.
Exactly.
That would be a good trade, you know. I like that actually. I kind of like that.
I'm just saying, if Sacramento wants to reach their goal to win the championship, I'm going to be calling the
You want to
Blazers.
permanently light that beam, you know?
You're like, hey, we want 41 light beams per year, plus addition with the playoffs. What do you say, De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk for Damian Lillard?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. I think that's good. That's good. Yeah, no, that's good. I think with that being said, though, I think that's all like the possible scenarios at the moment. You know, we're gonna have to wait till see what happens with Dame. And you know, till then, just continue liking the videos, commenting, you know, slide into the DMs, you know, talk about like what's it called? If there's any topics you think we should discuss, tell us. That's literally what Jesus did, you know. So like that's where we've been hearing his takes and stuff, you know. And outside of all that, yeah, no, just let us know what you want to talk about next as free agency continues. We'll continue updating you guys. We've been constantly posting, you know. And yeah, with that being said, guys, we're tuning out. This is Kishan.
Grant Ryan.
and Jesus.
Signing out, boys. Peace.
Peace.